the Gameboy Advance SP. One of my favorite handhelds of all time, besides the PSP. And yes, I do love the PSP. We'll do that in a separate video. Today is just about the Gameboy Advance SP. So I've seen all these accounts with these really cool mods on their Gameboy Advance SPs, and I had one growing up. I don't have my childhood Game Boy. I sold it, I think, for a new game, but I did acquire one just recently, and I said, perfect, this is the perfect time for the next video idea, and that is modding a Game Boy Advance SP. And that's what we do in today's video. But I want to start off by saying thank you guys so much for the love you guys were giving me in the last video, which was the Ultimate Game Boy Color. You guys gave me so much good feedback, some good ideas. I'm appreciated. I really didn't expect to get that much love. So this is making me want to pursue making more videos like this more. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe, because we will try to make more and more cool little modding content. I'm not 100% sure where we're going with this channel. And if you haven't done so already, I mean, we might as well. If you haven't seen the Game Boy Color, we have a video. It'll be up here somewhere. It's the Ultimate Game Boy Color that I made for myself. Go ahead and check it out. It's a good video. I want to also disclaimer, we didn't go all out like we did for the Ultimate Game Boy Color, but it's still a pretty beefy boy, so you guys are going to be satisfied at the end of the video. So remember what I was saying, I acquired a Game Boy Advance SP. I did pick up a rundown one from Sendico a while back, and the thing needed some freaking love. It was in bad shape. So that's like the perfect donor SP to mod up to make it beautiful, right? So of course, here are some of the things we picked up for this mod in particular. I found this cool UV printed base from the Mega Man Battle Network series. I grew up playing those games, so it was really nostalgic to see. And it's a purple translucent shell. I got this from the Retro Repair Shop. Retro Repair Shop, if you're watching this video, please send me the rest of the Mega Man Battle Network series UV printed shells you have on your website. I think they'd be perfect for my collection. DM me, email me, whatever. Please. I love you. Then everything else we got is actually from the Funny Playing website. Apparently they have a website. I had no idea. So I bought everything else from there. For the screen, we went with the IPS screen. I know there's an ITA screen. I'm not even 100% sure what the differences between the two are. If you guys can comment down and let me know. Maybe in the next build for an SP, we use the ITA screen. I don't know, but we went with the IPS for this video. So yeah. We also got the Funny Playing lithium battery upgrade. The battery that came with the SP was already inflating and it didn't last long, so it did need new life. We went with pink buttons to accent Base's hand in the UV print. It's like a pink. So I thought it would look cool with the color scheme. So, you know, we're trying to match it up. Of course, the speaker, every time I get a donor handheld, the speakers are always shot. So I got the clear speaker from Funny Playing. And then I also got a USB-C/audio port for the motherboard of the SP. Unfortunately, that footage for the USB-C mod, it doesn't exist. It literally the video just corrupted. Thanks to OBS, I mean, put in all that work. It wasn't really that hard. There are videos on how to do this, so go and check those out. Thanks to my soldering sucker that I didn't have last video and I have this video, it helped a lot. So get a soldering sucker. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. Okay, now let's get on to the modding process with the Game Boy Advance SP. I know it's not a lot of people's favorite to mod, and I can see why. As I was trying to open up the SP, I already ran into a problem. A lot of these screws were just stripping. Super easy. I have no clue why they were just like, they were not having it. I had like 3 screws strip on me. I was having the hardest time trying to get these things out. But once I got the stupid screws out, I was finally able to open up the Game Boy Advance SP. I thought it was going to be easy. I thought you just had to take the motherboard out and that was it. I'm not using the original screen. I'm not using the shell, the buttons, the speaker. So it's just the motherboard I needed. Or so I thought. Yes, I know you're probably typing down in the comments below. I totally forgot about the hinges. And might I say, it is literally the worst part about this build. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, what a hinge is, it's basically the thing that gets the SP to open up. Like this. And how it doesn't close back down into a clamshell. It's the little mechanism that keeps it from falling down. So we definitely needed it because that's the thing that keeps it up. So as we were trying to take out the stupid hinges, they were really hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. They were just, for some weird reason, really complicated and really fragile to take out. I broke one of the clamps on the hinge, so that made me nervous. So what I did was, one of the hinges did not want to come out. I dremeled the shell. I literally cut open the shell to get the stupid little hinge out. That is fantastic. I love doing things like that. But once you got the actual hinges out, you had to transfer them into the new shell. And it was not that hard, but it was weird because you had to put them in the right position or else they would not go in. You couldn't force them in. But once you did, it took a lot of finessing for me to get them in, but a little trial and error for sure. I got them in. I don't know why these things are super hard to take out and put back in, but we need it, right? After we got the hinges in, we had to set up the IPS screen. Of course, the IPS screen had like a little mother control board. You have to input the ribbon cable and connect those two together. We had to coil the ribbon cable to get it through the bottom to get to the motherboard, which is one of the most scariest things, because you ruin that ribbon cable, the IPS screen is broken and you have to pay another $45 for a new screen. Don't want that. But once we got the ribbon through, we just had to screw it down so the ribbon wouldn't come out. Then you have to screw the screen into the top panel of the SP shell. And it was kind of like we were on the home stretch. We just had to put the new buttons in, the new membrane, the new speaker in. But before I continue on, I want to give a shout out to Macho Nacho. If it wasn't for Macho Nacho, this video or any of my business wouldn't exist. This guy is the GOAT at making tutorial videos. I literally watch all of them, and he literally carried me through this entire video because I would have been lost trying to do this on my own. And then I had to solder a wire to the ribbon cable for the motherboard's brightness control. So I also had to solder a pad to the actual motherboard. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. It was something with a Q, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but if you're watching this to learn, do not copy me. Go and watch a video. There's a video talking about the brightness control pad you have to solder. I literally, for the life of me, can't remember. It was Q something, but I could be wrong. So the next thing was actually just connecting the ribbon to the motherboard, which was kind of weird because it was in a weird angle. You kind of had to finagle and just hope you don't rip the ribbon cable, and you just had to angle the motherboard up like at a 90-degree angle, and then you had to solder the wire to the brightness control pad on the motherboard. It was a little stressful, but we got it done. Then after we got the ribbon in, we just had to install the L and R triggers and basically screw everything up, put in the new battery, and we prayed that once we flicked that switch, we were gonna get power, and we did. And I was also praying that we wouldn't have a jank screen and had to return that. We didn't. I've gotten lucky with screens lately. I'm gonna knock on wood to make sure I don't break that. There's a chance, if you guys do buy screens, there are chances where the screen will probably be broken, the IPS screens. You just have to simply contact the company and they'll send you a new one. But there's a lot of risk. So I was praying and hoping that this thing wasn't broken, and it wasn't. So we were good. Also, I do want to know, I did put pink all around except for the volume slider. I've heard that if you try to change the volume slider color, sometimes you can brick the volume slider and break it. So I didn't want to break it, so I left it black or gray, whatever that color is. But the power switch and triggers and buttons are all pink except for the volume slider. I'm just trying to be cautious. I don't want to break it. The Gameboy Advance SP was done. It was looking so beautiful. It was crazy to see how beautiful the screen is compared to what the screen had before. It was absolutely trash. It's crazy how the IPS screens look. It makes the console look like it just came out today. It's mind-boggling and it's beautiful. I think these things are amazing. Shoutouts to the company, whoever made these. They're fantastic, man. I can't complain. Don't even get me started on the shell. I was so obsessed with the shell, just looking at it in hand, feeling it. It was just like I was like, damn. Retro Repair Shop, you guys went crazy with the design. If you want to send me the rest of the shells you guys have, send it my way. I wouldn't mind. To top it off, to make it one of the coolest handhelds I have in my pocket, I have an Easy Flash Omega Definitive Edition that I bought for this build. And the thing is amazing. I will do a separate video on this cartridge itself because it's got some crazy features. So if you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and like it. This probably video was quicker than the last video. It wasn't a lot of mods and it wasn't really too hard. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and let me know what we should make Ultimate consoles. Should we make Ultimate Game Boy Advances? Maybe in Wonder Swans? What should we make Ultimate next? I'm curious. And if you want to buy some of my stuff, make sure you guys go ahead, click the link down. My shop is available. I do drop from time to time new stuff, modded Vitas, PSPs, Game Boy Advances, GameCubes, all of that, all the goodness. Go ahead and check out my shop if there's something in there. I'm not 100% sure by the time I drop this if I have anything in the store. And before you do, go ahead, if you haven't seen the Ultimate Game Boy Color video, go ahead and check that out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace on the streets.